Thank you.
Good afternoon, David.
Afternoon, David. How are you?
Getting by yourself.
Aye, since we last spoke 30 seconds ago, I'm great.
Cool. Share Facebook on board.
Right. Ah,
Yeah, I guess I better light the naughty step because no doubt some of these wazzocks are due a visit to it.
Well, it'd be, you've no doubt all heard about the warning about the weather, right? Tomorrow,
We'll get
schools
to
are
that.
closed and all the rest of it. I'm just mentioning it for anybody that doesn't know about it. Go and
That's
check out.
why we've got it at number 4 today on the Scottish issues.
Yeah, just each of you go on and check out for your own individual area what the weather's going to be doing. All right.
There's Article 4 at the fucking Monday then. We've already covered.
Well, come on. The best time to mention it is now when they first come on board.
But
All
we
right.
don't have everybody on board yet, David.
Well, they're going to be on board. All right.
Right.
Some
Now,
people hope so.
you need to excuse my co-host and I having an argument at the beginning of the show. Not very professional. Not very professional at all, but hey ho.
Hey ho, there you go.
We'll have a wee look and see who's in, will we?
Yes.
I see Jim Stevens, Stephen Bankier, Aki's Mad, DJ Martin, James Connolly, Last Braveheart, Nathan McAllister, Kirsty
Yep.
Olds. Hi, Kirsty. Hi, Chris. How you feeling, son? Hey, Margaret, Jodie.
Yep.
George Evans, Wolf Pet, Stephen Bankier, Chris Fisher.
Doug's in. Doug Copley.
Aye, Lynn Robertson. Evelyn Hume, Stephen Nichol,
Yep.
Mark Telfer. Oh, you made it, Mark. Hey, oh, that reminds me. Your arse is on the naughty step for nobody able to attend the morning session. I better light it up so you can get burnt, you fucker. Sorry, that's the way to talk to the audience, is it? Hey, man, it's going to be one of the ones, folks. I have that feeling about me.
Yeah.
I've got
He's got a wee team at the back of his shoulder, and it's going right. There you go.
Oh, that's that lot in the morning, even pay me hand. Now you get a scroll down again, get the comments up to speed. Because if Doug, there's Charlie Campbell in for Facebook. Doug's in for Facebook and all, I think. Hi, Jane. Jane's in for Facebook. A good friend, Jane Loveland. Absolutely wonderful person. And Stephen Kelly's in.
There's a Robert in.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Nancy McCaber, she's in as well. Hello there.
Right. Diane's in. Hi, Tina. We're getting there, David. We're nearly at the 100 mark.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert's here. Never noticed you, Robert, sneaking in. Anyway, Mark. Naughty step. Right, David. Not much going on in Scotland, is there? It's fucking, it's a slow news week, to say the least.
You can imagine that there are journalists working for unionist newspapers, and they'd be in front of the editor, and the editor's going, any possibility we can get Glenn Rose in again? We get someone that, is a coffee maker going?
Anyway, David, I've just read the statement, the National Care Service to be booted into the long grass.
Yeah.
So, what they're going to do...
No, but we knew this was going to... We knew it already happened anyway.
Right? Yes, the withdrew their support.
Because for the councils, it's the care service that they're involved with at the moment is a huge money spinner.
A revenue generator for them.
Yeah. So the care service would literally take that out of their hands.
Yes.
And you can imagine, therefore, the council are going to be going, no, we're not doing that. And then you had the unions; they were looking at it and going, no, that's not happening. Whereas the people within the offering the care, they were looking for the care service to actually come into being.
Yes.
Because it gave them a professional route for promotion.
Didn't they just give them that, David? It would also standardise care right across the country.
Correct, but you can imagine down an individual that's working for it. You're now part. You're like the NHS. You're now part of that, And I spoke to a few of the lasses, and they all went, "Yeah, we'd love for this to actually happen,"
Oh,
So-
yeah, David. The people that worked in it wanted it.
Yeah,
Us, the people, wanted it.
yeah,
The councils wanted to keep that power,
yeah.
and the trade unions said, "No, we're not transferring your more workforce to you." That's what you call political meddling.
Yeah.
You know,
So therefore, what we do is, I know it's time for independence, but it's also immediately we got independence, we get rid of the councils.
no,
We get rid.
I'm not having it, David. I'm not having your pet project. Apparently, First Minister's questions was entertaining today. Is Java fair go to Earth skill? Now, Stuart, we can't call her Java. You can call her one brain cell Bailey, but you can't call her Java. All right?
Yeah.
Madam Director, if you mind, you're not allowed to make comments like that.
Actually, if you do get on Star Wars 2 or Star Wars 2 or Star Wars 3, right? Where you've actually at Jabba the Hutt. If you look there and you screw your eye, it's Jackie Bailey on the back. It really is, honestly.
David, no, you'll get us thrown off air. I tell you, one brain cell Bailey's all right, but you can't be weighted. Or flattest or whatever they call it.
I didn't know Jabba the Hutt was carrying away. I thought it was Jackie Bailey that did that.
Enough. I wish I hadn't made the bloody comment
out. Sorry. Right, okay.
Anyway, Social Care Minister Marie Todd has said that there won't be a national infrastructure, but they'll go forward with part 2 and 3 of the bill to try and get standardised systems right across all the councils and to get them all on a standardised pay system.
So,
looking on a standardised pay system now.
Switching on your crystal ball, what do you see happening in the future?
Well, if we don't get independence before it, Labour intend to introduce such a service in England in 2028. So therefore, it's only be booted into long grass, because the minute the funds become available again, the plans are all there. So it's just a matter of getting Section 1 of the bill back down off the shelf and introducing it.
Yeah.
So I can see once Labour go institute their plan south of the border, then all of a sudden we'll get the support of the Labour Party here in Scotland for it.
Let's get independence, and then we'll see. Sorry about that. Yeah,
we're working on right. Now the other big story this week in the Scottish Parliament is the recommendations for the inquiry into the deaths of Katie Allen, 21, and William Brown, age 16, and Foment young offenders.
Yeah, this is something we discussed prior to the show, and
it was just to bring you up to speed.
It's sad, and it's wrong. It's wrong having basically kids in the prison system. Well, I know young offenders, but crazy having kids in that.
Aye, listen, that's one of the outcomes of these two young people's deaths,
Yeah.
Oh, Duncan, late again, naughty step, don't burn your arse in the candle, and putting it out there publicly on the super chat that you were late. Not the greatest idea you've ever had. Tell you he was going to be one of these ones, guys. So anyway,
he's ruthless with that candle, isn't he?
Just to say, Angela Constantine gave Parliament an update on the findings and recommendations of the inquiry.
Yeah.
And of course, as we know, the main recommendation has already been carried out. People under 21 don't go to prison anymore.
Yeah, well, I've said this in past shows that we should be, certainly in Scotland, we should be a civilized country. Unless someone's done something particularly bad, they should not end up in prison. And we have the ability now to put straps on people's legs, cuffs on people's legs, so that they can't leave the house or whatever, right? So at the end of the day, there you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, apparently I'm on a power trip today, Davey. I'm assuming she means me.
I've got news for you. What's new?
This man that comes up with mad ideas, drops it in my fucking lap and walks away. So Angela, that's that, and of course, moving on, because the only other story in Scottish politics right now is Neil Gray, the health minister.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as we know, the newspaper headlines about limo trips and shit like that, their cars are fucking Skodas, and their drivers are their security guards.
Neil did a bad thing.
Aye.
He was good at his job, and that's seriously.
Oh, he's still good at his job. He hasn't went anywhere.
How dare he? How dare he? Huh?
How dare he use a ministerial car for ministerial use?
That's right. And how dare he? And how dare he be good at his job?
Aye. Well, anyway, the good part of it, we'll get to the good bit of his job. What's it all about now? Well, yesterday they were saying he was using limos to get back for it. Comes to light, by the way, he was using his ministerial car, but I don't care. That's what we give him one for.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's taking his auntie to the fucking supermarket, and I don't care.
If you are a minister of the Scottish government and you were to use a bus, underground, train, whatever, right? And you don't have any kind of security with you, then you're putting yourself in stupid danger.
Hold on, I need to sort this one out.
Sorry.
Sorry, you're late, Ginger. Company-wide meeting. Aye, you're forgiven. See, Julie, I'm no on a power trip. But anyway, they're announcing the fact that they're late on a super chat. Geordie, fucking naughty step. You don't get to buy a seat in the naughty step a day. Between £2 and £5 will be suffice.
Yep.
Right, anyway, so what's it about this time? What's the call for him to resign this time about? Well, apparently, when he was going to these football matches, because of the heat off a candle, Duncan doesn't need to put his heating on. Anyway, because of the heat, because of the heat off a candle. Yeah, because some of these football trips were actual meetings with the SFA. When he initially got pulled up about them, he said there would be summaries of his meetings on the official record. Anyway, some newspaper decided to get an FOI with a union newspaper, because they're all fucking union newspapers, decided to get freedom of information, call for these summaries. They weren't all there. There wasn't a summary of all the meetings, there was only a summary of some of the meetings. Now, as it turns out, Mr. Gray is being blamed for misleading the Parliament because some civil servant didn't do their job. But of course, he's not going to be done for misleading the Parliament, even though he was late on his correction to the record, because they only get 20 days in Holyrood to correct the record if they say something that's incorrect. It's been more than that. But he has once again apologised to the Parliament. He didn't intentionally try to mislead them. He just didn't know that the civil servant that was with him on a couple of meetings didn't submit the summaries to the official records.
Yeah.
There's not much he can do about a civil servant not doing his fucking job. But no doubt the Sports and Health Committee will have this civil servant in front of them to answer questions.
Yeah. They certainly should be able to find out the name of the civil servant that was on.
I imagine the same civil servant because on the other occasions the civil servants have submitted summaries. So you'd imagine it would just be one who's attended twice and no bother else.
Yeah.
You know. But no doubt that person can be, hi Reagan Elite. Folks, tune into Reagan Elite's channel. It's good. Somebody put a link in the comments.
Yeah.
Any other vloggers pop in, admin mind and put up their channel links.
Yeah.
Now, no doubt that the sports committee will be looking for whoever it was that was supposed to submit that summary to the official record, and no doubt that person will have to answer questions. But
Well, regardless, Neil has been doing a super job doing his main ministerial task, right? And does it look like the First Minister's going to get rid of him?
no, he's given him his official back. They said, you've not done it right here. This is the civil servant that's done this. You just carry on doing good. Because let's face it, this time last year I was touring fucking hospitals because I was being told there was big queues at ambulance. We're not hearing that today. That's because the average response time for an emergency is 8 minutes, and the average response time for anything else is 38 minutes. For the longest wait.
Yeah.
Hospital waiting times, the average waiting time is still under 4 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in extenuating circumstances, like we've got through, it can be a bit longer. You know, and of course,
maximum of 12 hours, but down in England it can be up to 50 hours.
Aye.
Which is ridiculous. I know technically that we call that whataboutery, but it's pointless putting down the figures for Scotland. Whereas these unionist parties that sit in our legislature that want to cause Scotland bad stories all the time, we need to point out that England is in a dreadful state to show their union is in bloody tatters. Simple as that.
Well, you know, we do that often enough. But anyway, John's given Neil his backing, and I don't know whether it's like a football manager when the board gives them a backing.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
But what we do know is that Neil's cut waiting times.
Yeah.
Right across the spectrum, and he's got the service running pretty well balanced in the midst of another crisis, folks. Whether you like it or no, there is a health emergency here in Scotland at the moment. We've got a new strain of COVID, and we've got a flu epidemic on the go as well.
Yeah.
So actually, Neil's got a good grip on what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's got it under control, and he's making good strides into the pandemic backlog. So he is doing a good job. But as you've pointed out, David, that's why they want to shot him.
Well, I heard that Catalonia put in for a transfer of of Neil. Get him across there. You know, what can I say? You know.
I'll tell you what. If he pulls this off and can manage to overcome that backlog in the next couple of years, there will be other health systems in the world looking at him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There will be. This isn't just a UK-wide problem. This is a worldwide problem after the pandemic.
Yes.
And Neil's doing a bloody great job.
Yeah.
You know, if I was in the Australian, Canadian, New Zealand healthcare service and looking for some answers, I might well be looking at Neil Gray.
Neil Gray could end up working for the World Health Organization. Oh, do you know what one of Trump's executive orders was?
Can we get to Trump's executive orders when it comes to talk about Trump?
No, but it's just when we're talking about that, right? He's pulled America out of the World Health Organization, which is ridiculous.
I know. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show.
Yeah. Sorry.
But hey, you jumping all over the place like bloody Mexican jumping bean the Dave. You swallowed a couple. You know?
It's the fact that on the Mexican border they put. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Neil Gray. Concentrate. We're on the health service.
Yeah.
Neil Gray.
Right. Okay.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So the unions want rid of him.
Yeah.
You know. Simple as that. Right, next up, David, have you been observing our new Labour MPs in Westminster?
Well, this is something that you have been keeping an eye on, I know for a fact, right? It's like I've seen it happen loads of times, but you seem to have the thing of where it is now. It's a thing. It happens all the time where they are looking to down the SNP or Scotland every time they stand up.
Yes. We were just talking about whataboutery.
Yeah.
37 of them said they were going down there to represent Scotland, to stand and fight Scotland's corner.
Yeah.
37 of them have been down there every time they've got up to speak, all they've done is slag Scotland up.
Yeah.
And belittle the people and belittle the government and belittle the institution of devolution.
Yeah.
And the latest series for them is hitting out at the Scottish Health Service.
Well, what about that? What about that idiot? Ian, what's his face? The guy, Ian Murray, right? He practically voiced the line of that blooming famous movie, right, with Nicholson, where he said, "You can't handle the truth."
Oh, aye. Anyway,
he wouldn't know the fucking truth of it. Came and slapped him in the blooming like the top of his head.
Thing is, the people are starting to notice it, and they're starting to get really pissed off with it.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be doing their fighting, we're calling them. They're just doing their calling as fucking drunks, junkies, and uneducated fucking peasants.
Dead right. You're dead right on that. They are. And this is something else that we were actually discussing, but I'm not going to go into at the moment, which is they are effectively doing what we were talking about last week, which was the colonial what? We're effectively, they're constantly pushing in this thing of Scotland bad, SNP bad, SNP bad.
And basically, it's to make England believe that it's worse here.
Yeah, that's right.
The people of England are starting to look north at our social contract and say, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a mate that stays in Carlisle and he doesn't attend the hospital there because he doesn't want to wait 2 fucking weeks. He jumps in the car up to where he used to live in Galashiels and goes to the fucking Borders General. You know? And I dare say there's a lot of people now at the border of England and Scotland do that.
Yeah.
As we know, Berwick upon Tweed wants to join Scotland.
Yeah. Well, we had this situation where the other week there they were talking about the Scottish NHS cut down or knock back people coming from south of the border to get their prescriptions from chemists in Scotland.
Well, the thing is, that's the problem with Berwick upon Tweed. You see, some of it is in Scotland.
Yeah.
As far as the postcode goes.
Yeah.
So you can be on one side of the street at the north end of Berwick upon Tweed and actually be registered with a Scottish GP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of the reasons why they want to rejoin Scotland. Because the TD postcode and TD15, some of Berwick Tweed is in TD15 Scotland. And the rest is in TD15 England, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a totally different thing altogether. If you're on one side of the town, your kids are entitled to free education, higher education, and if you're the other side of the fucking town, you're paying $9,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. But hey, as I say, the Labour MPs down there, it's starting to get noticed by the people who elected them here, and they're starting to get very angry about it.
Oh yeah.
You know, as their lives don't get any better, or they broken promises, and then when they do watch their MP performing, because as Lorraine says, the Speaker, Lindsay Howe, tries to avoid them, because he knows what they're going to do, and he knows how stupid that is as well. Mm-hmm. But it is being noticed here. And especially in the local press, I'm fortunate enough to be able to follow the local press as well, things like the Wisher Gazette and the Airdrie Advertiser and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
So, and you can see in the comment pages how angry people are becoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are weak. Brilliant. That's my Madam Director. Got me a cup of coffee. How's with that?
Lovely.
Huh?
Mine's just watching a horror movie as usual. Or is that a mirror she's sitting in? Right, anyway, so that's the Labour MPs. They're really, really upsetting their constituents. And if you get a chance to scoot round the local papers, David, have a wee look at the comment sections. It is getting pretty spicy.
Well, nah, nothing spicy ever happens in the Clydebank Post.
Well, I don't know. I'm not looking at the local one, you know. Motherwell, Westro and Airdrie papers, you know, and the Hamilton advertiser. Right, now we'll go on to the weather. All right.
I've done it.
Schools and workplaces to close tomorrow.
Yes.
Due to winds that are expected to get up to 90 miles an hour. And the First Minister has updated the weather alert from amber to red, and he has advised people not to travel tomorrow. To which end, my wife went, yee-haw, because she gets up weather day tomorrow and gets to stay home and get paid.
Yeah. But the thing is, as you pointed out, there'll still be people in trucks that are taking goods about the country.
Yep.
And you called it what?
Well, flying a kite.
Flying a kite. Yeah.
Aye, that's what we call it when we drive a curtain cider. You're flying a kite. And it can get pretty dodgy and pretty hairy.
Yeah.
But it's not as if it's something we haven't done before. But I reckon tomorrow, the transport system, especially when it comes to curtain ciders, the kites, I think they should just take them off the road to 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because this one's supposed to blow itself out by 5 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So I know that there'll be guys out flying a kite tomorrow. I'll be talking to a couple of them. You know.
It's a shame. It's a shame because excuse me. It must be very scary.
That is dangerous. It is scary.
Yeah.
I've been up in six wheels. I've been up in 8 wheels.
Yeah.
You know, when that, I've been lifted physically off the deck. You know, and have to turn into the wind to try and bring the motor back down again, or else you're going out. I've been there.
Yeah.
Flying a kite's exciting. Doesn't it have to get your heart racing and your speed down?
Yeah.
You know. So the ferry services are winding down. I haven't heard what's happening with ScotRail. I do know that service buses will probably be on the road, but they'll probably keep the double deckers indoors. They'll put the single deckers out.
Yeah.
And I imagine that a lot of the transport network will just operate as normal. You know, which means there will be a lot of people out there flying kites, there'll be a lot of people out there in boxes. And there might be the odd truck going out because it's a bit like the mail must get through, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't get it to the supermarket, you can't fucking eat it.
It's sad.
So there'll be people out flying kites tomorrow, there'll be people out in boxes tomorrow. And the transport network will go on. So the trains are after more and on. Okay. As I say, I haven't heard. I'll give Grant a phone later and see if he's out flying his kite tomorrow. You know, or whether they're going to tell him to stay in the house. He delivers building supplies, so they're quite heavy.
Yeah.
You know, but that's beside the point. A lot of it's also plastic pipe and things like
that. Yeah.
So he could have a 48 fitter and get maybe only 12 ton on it if it's all pipe.
The nice thing about it is that incidents like this are relatively few and far between. So, 90 mile an hour wind, that's odd. That really is oddball.
Apparently, a teenager's been arrested in Greenock on terrorism charges. I'll look that one up. And Mark says he'll be batting and doing the hatches on Aaron. Well, the central belt here is supposed to be going to take a right kick in the mortar, folks.
Yeah.
A right kick in the mortar. So get your
Oh.
garden furniture away, get your trampoline down, and get your wheelie bins strapped to the side of the building.
Aye.
But stay off the roads, because cars can get blown over.
Yeah, that's right. I've been in a car once that nearly did get blown over.
I've seen cars bridge the top, come out of a dip onto a flat bit of the road at the top where it's quite flat, and the wind's been howling across there, and as they come out that dip, they'll be shoved right out onto the hard shoulder or aft the road altogether.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know the dangers of flying a kite,
Yeah.
or driving a big rig in that weather. So it could get interesting tomorrow, folks, and I'll be sitting here watching the whole road network tomorrow. Obviously, I'm still in logistics, but I don't think we'll get anything out tomorrow because, well, we'll get stuff that's elsewhere out in tour. They'll just need to do what they need to do on the route there. But the school buses are up, and we've got a contract with the private schools in the Greater Glasgow area, so the schools are off. So they'll be on a weather day tomorrow. But we do have coaches and vehicles at the route, so no doubt they'll just have to stick to whatever hotel they're in. I'm sure the tour companies will be working on it at the moment, because normally each day the tour are in a different hotel. But if it's no feasible to move from one to the next, I'm sure the tour companies will sort it out. So just be careful tomorrow, folks. Really careful.
Best idea is don't come out from underneath that duvet.
You bloody well will. You better get fucking up, because I'll be putting a show on 10:30. Don't be late, you're on the naughty step. So that's a weather warning out the roadway. What else we got? Oh, Wilkie, a good news story. Wilkie's of Kirriemuir to move into the old Dunlop tyre factory, Mitchell tyre factory in Dundee, and they're also expanding the workforce from 180 to 400.
First, tell them who they are.
They're a fashion and textile maker.
Right. And are they a corporate magnet, or are they a family firm?
A family firm for Kirriemuir. It was started up in 1886 or 68, something like that.
So they are Scottish.
Yes, but they
It's
do
a
have
Scottish family-owned firm. But where else have they got? Have they got places?
They got places in North America, South America, and in China.
Very good.
They're quite a big company.
What do they do?
They make high-end textiles. They don't just make fashion and boots and things like that. They also make the sort of things that fire blankets, working at height webbing, and safety equipment. They also produce the material for things like rubber dinghies that the RNLI use.
Do they do fashions as well?
Yes, they do clothing. They do clothing ranges, yes.
So it's quite a menu, really, when you look at it.
They've got a huge menu, but they also do industrial fabrics.
Right.
High-end textiles, Kevlar, that sort of stuff.
Right, okay.
So that's what they do.
And that's made in Scotland?
No, it's not all made in Scotland, but it's headquartered here and it was started here.
Headquartered in Scotland. That's wonderful.
Now, the people who work at the Kirriemuir plant, that's Kirriemuir to the new plant's only 18 miles. They won't be getting laid off. Wilkies will be laying on transport to get them to their work each day.
Wonderful.
Which is good.
Yeah.
There's not many good news stories you'll get in our press, folks, so we've decided to bring you one today.
Yeah, that really is. That is one that's got to be shared. Every person here that's watching this program should be maybe on Facebook or whatever. Find that thing about the firm and getting it up on the line so that people can read about it, because they won't know about it unless they read about it.
This is one you know about, Nathan's Point, another great Scottish company, Lynn.
Yeah, the Lynn Music Systems, the the stuff is high end, I must admit. The one that's Scottish that I did prefer was Tannoy. And
aye.
Tannoy, the interesting thing is, Tannoy did a speaker, a single speaker, for a hi-fi system, right? Uh, and they sold it. I think they sold it for like 10 grand. A speaker, right? So you see this thing that's called a King speaker, right? And do you know something? They weren't getting the orders for it. So they called in a company to look at what was wrong, a marketing company to look at what was wrong. You know what the result was?
What?
Came back and they said, put the price up to 25,000 for a single speaker. The
Fuck's
moment
sake.
they did that, the moment they did that, they couldn't produce enough.
But Tannoy, that's a Bridge-based company, isn't it?
Yeah, the Tannoy was in Bellshill.
Aye.
Yeah, and they've got a wonderful thing which is called an anechoic chamber. It's a place where there's no reflections, right?
Aye. Need
When
res.
when when you go into it and they close the door, actually hurts your ears
Oh,
because
very
your brain's used to there being reflections of walls and all the rest of it.
Aye.
When you don't have that, it actually hurts the ears.
Well, there you go. We learned something new today. Right, let's move on. Rachel Reeves to soften blow for non-dom tax reforms. Rachel Reeves is in Davos trying to drum up some growth for the UK. And while she's there, she's telling the multi-billionaires and the multi-millionaires and billionaires who are non-doms, don't worry, we're going to soften it. We'll give you many, many years. We'll phase out your tax and we'll phase out non-doms slowly over many, many years. So don't worry
So
about it.
so at what point did Rachel Reeves give up her tea making um, career?
I don't
Because
know.
she was a tea maker for Bank of Scotland, a tea maker for the Bank of England.
Customer Services Officer, if you don't mind, David.
Sorry,
Customer Services Officer.
what that means is she hands out leaflets. That's it.
Oh,
There
I
you
think
go. That's what the big old bank is. There you are. Right.
Would you call it a hone out leaflets? I don't think so. I think she was answered the telephone or something.
The one that I read, don't know whether it's true or not. It could have been made up, right? Was where a gentleman said that I actually worked with her in the Bank of England, and she was helping people do fiddle their expenses. Now, to what degree I don't know, because everybody in a big corporation tends to fiddle their expenses a little bit, right? Okay, uh, but she effectively was given called the gentleman. She was given the decision as to whether to resign herself or be resigned.
That's one way of doing it. Ah, you're watching your wee mammy, Shazzy. Good. Glad to see you there. Anyway, she's out in Davos telling the rich, don't worry, but we're not really going to cancel non-dom. So the reforming the Lords is out the window, and now the
Yeah.
scrapping of non-dom status looks like it's out the window and all. So
So
really,
yet again, we've got Labour who were all for the people, right? And the waspy woman and the old age pensioners and you name it, right? Okay. And what they've done is they've come out the blocks, they've said, stuff you lot, and now they're going the other way, which is to the people with the money, the people that the 1%, and saying to them, don't worry about it. Everything we said about non-dom state, it's not a load of nonsense. We're not going to do it.
I knew Lassie, who's the co-convener of the Greens in England, she did an interview with, I think it was Politics Joe, on this very subject. She was brilliant.
Yeah,
And she made it clear that Labour have now been sold out to corporate interests.
yeah, yeah.
You know? But Rhonda, hi, yeah. Now, basically, as we get further and further into this parliamentary term with the Labour Party, it's becoming quite clear that they are Tories and that they are echoing the same mistakes made by George Osborne.
And what about the situation where we know they are getting money from the Israeli government? That's something that's not even a secret. That's plain. That is out there, right? In a situation like that, the Labour government now cannot change tack. It cannot turn round. If Trump says he's not providing any more money to the Israeli government, the Israeli government will then look to Britain to produce weapons. And if they say no, then the Israeli government says, "Well, we'll blow the whole lot on the deal that we've got with you in terms of 50,000 that goes to Keir Starmer and however much goes to somebody else." Am I right?
There is no doubt that this particular incarnation of the Labour Party are being run by the Jewish lobby.
Yeah.
The previous Conservative Party were being run by Russian oligarchs. What we can say is that it's now down to the highest bidder who runs the country. Good question, Kevin. What else we got? Mark, we want to raise so he was no worry about winter fuel payment, which you can.
Kevin, the answer to that is it's time for independence. Independence. Independence.
I'm pretty sure Kevin knows that because he's pumping out Independence Live programs day in, day out. Yeah. It's just in case you didn't know what Kevin it was.
No, I know Kevin. Yeah.
Okay. So Reeves backtracks on another one of the pledges, or says she's going to soften the blow, whatever the fuck that means. Hey, let's move on. The new law introduced UK-wide on Wednesday, which affects anybody on benefits who has a bank account. Because that's this law that allows the Department of Work and Pensions to get access to your account.
Yeah, it's been announced, but they haven't done anything about it yet.
No, the law passed on Wednesday, David.
The law actually passed, and
yes, the law passed.
And if that law then is carried forward, then that means that now you've got UK government inside the pockets of everyone, because it doesn't just affect people that are on benefits; it could affect everybody that's got a bank account.
Yeah. But it should only affect those with benefits, and that includes pensioners, because it's now called a benefit.
No, but you understand that if they're making it where a section of the population they're allowed to look inside their accounts, what's to stop them from looking at everybody else's accounts?
Yeah, we'll get to that, Lorraine. We'll get to that. Hold on. I wanted to put that comment up. I think his remarks were pretty sick, Lorraine, but we'll get to it. Hey, I'll put a comment up, David, so you know what we're talking about. Where is it? Yeah, it's there. Trump is drooling at taking over Gaza so they can build luxury resort on Graves.
Yeah.
We will get to it. We will get to it. Trump's own with agenda.
Yeah.
But this new law that's been introduced, right? Now, it's basically the one the Conservatives introduced, but there's a tweak on it. There's a tweak on it because if you're in debt to the Department of Work and Pensions, they can now raid your bank account to take the money.
Yeah.
The Conservative bill didn't allow them to do that.
Yeah.
So Labour tweaked it, But there is one headache for them.
Well,
All the way through, nobody brought it up. Gets to the point where it's passing, and the big banks bring it up and say, no.
Do you realise that another British establishment already did that, right? And it was something that at the time, I mean, I'm divorcee, right? With the child support agency,
That's
right?
right, yes, aye.
And the child support agency could literally take
Seize
your
bank
money
account.
at your wages,
Aye, aye.
right? Leave you with nothing.
Yes, I
Leave you with
remember.
nothing if they wanted to, right?
Yep.
So,
So the banks are throwing a spanner in the works. They've pointed out the obvious that consumer right law and client confidentiality are protected under consumer right law.
yes.
So it would appear the Consumer Right Act is going to have to be amended here in order
Well,
for this to go forward.
it's like so many of these things. It seems to be that we've got laws that protect us, but we've got politicians that want to attack us,
Yeah, well,
and
that's where we're at.
politicians that are prepared to run over roughshod those laws that have previously been put up to protect the little man and the little woman.
Yes, and as we see human rights being eroded quite quickly in
Yeah,
England, and we are definitely seeing freedom of expression and freedom of speech being attacked in England
yeah,
by politicians.
yeah.
I mean, we've just had a reporter come back from the Middle East to be arrested in Jersey under the Terrorism Act. Now, what was their crime? Supporting the Gazans. But what the Jersey 2002 Terrorist Act has done, they've said she was supporting a prescribed organisation, Hamas, when she wasn't.
It wasn't.
She was supporting the Palestinian people.
Yeah,
But being arrested, being charged under the Terrorism Act, Section 12.6, I think it was, promoting and supporting a prescribed organisation. And I don't think it was Jersey that put him up there. I think it was Westminster.
yeah.
Because Jersey's a Crown Protectorate, and Westminster, Keir Starmer's their Prime Minister. And then, of course, we've seen the crackdown on the pro-Palestinian march outside the BBC. You know, with the police.
The more you hear about stuff like this, the more you think it's really urgent. Our independence is really, really urgent.
Because, you know, David, a lot of these laws don't apply to us. This one will, when it comes to people's bank accounts. But as I say, it appears that other laws are going to have to be changed to make
Yes,
that work.
yeah,
For
but
the
it's
part
a
of
time,
pensions.
isn't it? You know.
But that also means that our consumer rights and our protections will be eroded.
Yeah,
You know. So, folks, they can now, if you're on state benefit, no matter what it is, as Mark's pointed out, even if it was just a child benefit that you get for every child, they can now access your bank account information. They can even raid your bank account if they give you a couple of quid too many and take it back after.
yeah,
Which is outrageous because the DWP will swoop into people's accounts and clean them out
yeah.
for any back money that people owe. Now, it's going too far. It is going too far.
Yeah, yeah.
The intrusion into your life, it's gone way too far.
Yeah.
It's never up to the Scottish Government.
Thanks very much. Scotland first. Aye, Kevin, you're right. That's the other thing. They're watching to see if you get if your own benefits, if you're doing any extravagant spending.
Yeah.
Because most people don't use cash; they zap.
Yeah.
And that means when they get into your bank account, they'll know whether you spent 110 quid on a pair of trainers.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
800 quid in the latest mobile phone. You know, Big Brother is definitely intruding. definitely intruding upon us. And the state control is getting tighter and tighter. And as we know, they want to introduce the central banks want to introduce digital currency. And that would just give them total control.
Well, with Neil will look at it again, but we need to find out where BRICS is up to regard the gold-backed currency.
Well, you know, at the moment, the BRICS are setting up a new payment system between themselves.
Yeah.
Once they get through that, then they might decide on moving away from fiat currencies and go back to gold-backed currency. We'll wait and see. Right. It would appear that Mark Drakeford's lost the plot.
Yeah.
No, I like Mark Drakeford.
Yeah, so that, yeah. But
no, he's back in frontline politics, spotting his health minister doing that. Well, I think he's lost the plot.
Pretty silly. Go and explain, David.
Well, he gave an interview saying he thought there was too many hospitals in Wales, and that secondary care sucks all the money out of the NHS when Masty's actually dealt with in primary care, meaning your GP's surgery. But you've got to remember, if you attend your GP's surgery and you go to be accelerated into secondary care, you need it to fucking be there. Now, we also know that Wales doesn't have too many hospitals or too many hospital beds because they've got fucking long waiting times.
Yeah.
Really long waiting times. But it was one of the stupidest things. One of the stupidest things I've heard them say so far.
But as far as I'm concerned, the right-wing dream, the wet dream, if you like, for the right-winger, is we'll close all the hospitals. And you won't have any wait lists at all.
That's true. But see, what Draper said was if it's a blank piece of paper, and he could do it again, he would have less hospitals and funnel more money into primary care.
Now, hang on. There's two ways of looking at that. And I can imagine maybe what was in Mark Draper's head, right? It wasn't particularly an attack on hospitals. It was to bum up the idea of primary care and make it whereby the majority of ailments are dealt with in the home, not at a hospital, right?
I get that.
If you imagine there are a lot of ailments that people have where you have to go in the hospital, there's no choice.
Generally, that's where your GP's sending you.
Yeah.
You know, if you have to go for secondary care, it's generally a hospital you're going to.
Yeah.
But the problem with Mark's statement about too many hospitals in Wales is there isn't enough hospital beds in Wales for the situation Wales is in at the moment.
Yeah.
And it would be all right to take a blank piece of paper and redesign the healthcare system if it wasn't for the fact that people are already ill and need the healthcare system. We can't
and we've already had a pandemic.
I knew we've got an epidemic.
Yeah.
And the pandemic never went away.
Yeah.
But as I say, the problem with what Mark's talking about, and I can understand what he's talking about, put my money to primary care, then we'll catch illnesses quicker, they won't need so much secondary care. I get that. But that's not how it is. The system already exists. What they need in Wales is like they need everywhere else. They need more capacity.
Yeah.
They need to build capacity. It's an aging population. We're an aging population. They in England control immigration, so we continue to be an aging population. So what Scotland and Wales need to do is not just redesign their healthcare services, they've got to build capacity.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of the National Care Service, was building capacity.
Yeah.
You know, but as I say, I still think he's lost the plot. He's the health minister down there, and they put through a statement like that. If you're working in a hospital and he's calling your hospital a blood-sucking organisation drawing money out of primary care, he obviously doesn't understand how the health service works. It's primary care that sends you to secondary care.
In actual fact, you look at all these things, all these systems they're talking about, there's too many of this and there's not enough of that, and money is running out for this and all the rest of it, right? I was a great fan of a particular futurologist called A.G.P. Taylor. And he figured out that every house could have 3 cars, right? All could have a beautiful big house, all the rest of it, right? And there was enough room and food and all the rest of it for the whole human population. No starvation whatsoever, plenty of money, plenty of enjoyment, all the rest of it, right?
Barbara,
And we literally have that now, providing we take the money off the 1%, the people in Davos.
redistribution of wealth is a big subject there.
Yeah.
It really is. But hey, let's move on. Apparently, there's been another Westminster scandal, which is leading to a debate on whether the bars and restaurants in the Parliament estate should be closed. Now, apparently, and one of the bars has been temporarily closed for an investigation into spiking of drinks.
Yep.
Right? And this
why do you think MPs end up getting their drinks spiked? Now, don't forget, this isn't just lasses. It didn't just happen to lasses. It happens to men too. Right? Why?
Don't enlighten me.
Well, fine.
I mean, they're supposed to be the finest amongst us.
Yeah, but they're not.
No, they're all bloody all of them are deviants. But anyway, this brings a debate on, and it's led by the leader of the House. And what the leader of the House she's saying is that closing the bars and restaurants on the estate means that MPs would go off the estate to drink.
Right.
And that would compromise their safety. Now, if it wasn't such a corrupt, bloody political system, then an MP or an MSP, which MSPs don't have, but MPs they have, is a fear of going out into public.
Yeah, that's right.
You know.
Now, I'm not going to say just for even an instant that there isn't some danger to MSPs, because it certainly is at times, right?
Yeah.
However, you look at the House of Commons, Westminster, right, and what these people have been responsible for over the many years, right? It's like no wonder they've got people hunting them down. No wonder. No wonder you've got people that would love to go face to face to this one and that one, right? So,
listen, they'd prefer it that way.
Yeah.
They would prefer it that way. If you want to do something about the problems in Westminster and the corruption in Westminster, it's fucking pitchfork and torches time. But that's up to the people of England. It's their fucking parliament.
But the thing is, though, what I've been told is that the people with the pitchforks are going to take the torches off the people with the torches.
That's what politicians do. They convince one that the other one's a problem.
You've seen that before. Right, okay.
We've watched it for 50 fucking years. Over the last 20 years, it's got to over the last 30 years, it's blame the single mother, blame the poor, blame the pensioner, blame the inactive. It's always punching down the way. See, try to raise people up the way, it's punching down. And it's been that. It started doing about Maggie's time, but it's been like that ever since.
Yeah.
Punching down.
Yeah.
And convincing people single mothers are the problem. The degenerates. The unemployed are the problem. The lazy. The ethnic minorities are the problem. They're polluting the fucking gene pool. Or they're changing our values. You know,
disabled?
The disabled. I'm used to what you get there.
Yeah.
The disabled and the pensioners that's getting it.
Yeah.
It's always punching down and convincing one section of society, the other section of society is the fucking problem.
Yeah.
The actual problem is sitting in Westminster.
Yeah. And the good thing is, guys, if you live in, not everybody here that's watching this will be Scottish, but if you live in Scotland, You have an answer. You have a perfect answer.
They've got an answer
Okay.
down there at all.
Well, no, but the thing is, we could be in a lovely situation of be able to watch from the north end of a 17-foot chain link fence at what's going to happen down the road, right? And Scotland is going to be progressive, fair, all the rest of it, right?
They guarantee that, David. When we get independence, we have to safeguard to make sure that happens.
Yeah, I know that.
We
And
could end up like that place down there, just another den of iniquity.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
We all know that now.
Yeah.
We all know it's probably one of the most corrupt places on the planet.
Yeah.
And owning a politician is cheap. As Max William Robespierre keeps saying, see, if you want to make money, go along to the bank and borrow 10 grand and donate it to the ruling party. You'll get £1 million contract, no bother. No, and it's fucking true. But this idea of, and Mark Telford, he puts this quite well.
Yeah.
And that is that, lawmakers, pissed as a fart, try to operate the best interests of people, no chance.
I see that Michel Moon's documentary went out last Monday, which was rather interesting. I haven't seen it myself, but I'll see it on Watchback at some point. I mean, it's ridiculous the fact that the woman is still free. She's not behind bars. Anybody else doing what she did would be behind bars. End of story.
And apparently, Maggie's Burns Supper's been cancelled.
Who's?
Maggie and Oaks, her Burns Supper's been cancelled. She's saying it's a good job she's got haggis in the house.
Right, okay.
By the way,
Yeah. Right, so that's we're now over time.
My Burns Supper's going to be a chicken curry. Anyway, that brings us on to Trump. And as you're already aware of what Trump's done, his executive orders and all that, I don't have time to play. I've got work to go to. So I guess Trump gets trapped and we end with pissed MPs, pissed and corrupt MPs, right back where we all started with 307 fucking years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so we're calling it a day there, are we?
In a wee minute, I need to answer this one. Reform is needed throughout Westminster. Yep, it only takes one big torch to do it.
or
No mention of explosives, please.
Fireworks. They're pretty, aren't they?
Aye, but David, no mention of explosives, please.
All right, okay.
Fireworks. Right, guys, thanks very much for watching today in great numbers again. We appreciate it. Please hit the like, the share, and subscribe buttons if you want to. It helps the algorithm. Keep your eyes on the prize. Oi, Milligan, look at me. That's your cue. Keep your eyes on the prize.
Time for independence, independence, independence.
Get a grip, big man. Right, guys.